मुनव्वर मेरी आँखों को मेरे शम्सो दुहा कर दे.
Unfortunately, where people just brush the dirt under the carpet and they say, we're all believers. Deen, it is not something which is we have inherited from our father. ये बाप की मिरास नहीं है. Deen is the true deen is what Allah Azza wa Jal has given to Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, what the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam has brought to us. At-tasdeequ ma ja'a bihi nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. That is what deen is. And deen says, enjoin good, forbid evil. Amrun bil ma'ruf, nahyun anil munkar. And the ayat says there should be among you a nation, a group that promotes good and forbids evil. And they are the successful people. They are not spreaders of hate. The Quran says, وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ وَلْتَكُنْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. They are successful in dunya and akhirah, who condemn, who expose the deviants and say they are not true believers. Because the Prophet said, my ummah will divide into 73 divisions, all of whom will go into the hellfire except one. And he said, the path of salvation is the one I am upon, and my sahaba, ma ana alayhi wa ashabi. And this is exclusive to the sunnah wal jama'ah. Yeah? And in the Asian subcontinent, the ones who are following Imam Ahmad Raza Khan, Fadil Muhaddis al-Braielwi, they are the sunnah wal jama'ah. This is exclusive to them. This is the only correct path. The only path which correctly believes in Allah Azza wa Jal, correctly believes in Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, who correctly believe in the Sahaba Kiram, respects all and each and every one of them, who correctly believes in the Ahlul Bayt, does not insult any of them, does not exaggerate in belief about them, does not say that they are ma'soomeen because they are not ma'soom, they are mahfood. They correctly believe in the awliya Kiram, and they promote good and forbid evil. Because the Quran says that do not sit in their company. Why? Not because it wants to promote hatred. The Quran doesn't promote hatred, but to protect your iman. For the protection and preservation of your iman, the Quran says that if the shaitan has caused you to forget, وَإِمَّا يُنْسِيَنَّكَ الشَّيْطَانُ Surah Al-An'am reference. فَلَا تَقْعُدْ Then do not sit بَعْدَ الذِّكْرَى after remembering مَعَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ with those people who are misguided. And they have been referred to as the dogs of the hellfire in the hadith by the Prophet, not by me. The Prophet said it. Kilabu ahlin nar, the ahlul bidah. And any other version of ahlul bidah. Another ayat, do not be inclined to those people. وَلَا تَرْكَنُوا إِذَا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا فَتَمَسَّكُمُ النَّارِ. If you be inclined towards them in mahabbah, in love, then the fire of hell will also touch you. The Prophet ﷺ would say, he would encourage, just as the doctor says to you, keep away from certain foods, otherwise your body will become damaged. Here your iman is going to be damaged. Your iman will be undermined and weakened. If you associate with them, they will rob you of your iman. Then people come to us all the time, they're ringing us up on television saying, Hazrat, this is happening, Maulana Sahib, this is happening. Can you answer this question? Did the Prophet, can he help us? Is it shirk? Yeah? Is it shirk to ask help? And so on and so forth. Yeah? Is he hadir or nadir? Is he nur or is he just a bishop like us? So this is because at the workplace, schools, colleges, universities, you should not be discussing deen on the dinner table. The Prophet says that you should be very careful from whom you get your deen from. This is when you are opening the doors to misguidance. And our aslaf, they have warned us about this because the Quran and the Hadith warns us. Another ayat towards the end of Surah Al-Mujadala, it says that there are people out there, استعوذ عليهم الشيطان فأنساهم ذكر الله أولئك حزب الشيطان ألا إن حزب الشيطان هم الخاسرون إن الذين يحادون الله ورسوله أولئك في الأضلين. Those people who oppose Allah and His Rasul, they are the most disgraced. Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying that in the Quran. And then He promotes those people who sever ties with people who are bad aqidah. And there are 7 gifts for those people. Allah has impressed on their hearts Iman. And He strengthens them with His rahmah. And they will enter paradise wherein they shall remain forever. They have been referred to as the party of Allah. Yani Allah ki wo party hai, Allah ka giroh hai. They are the group of Allah. And they are successful. Those people who love for the sake of Allah and hate for the sake of Allah. Because the hadith Pak says, Man ahabba lillahi, whoever loves for the sake of Allah and has hatred for the sake of Allah, which proves that you are supposed to have hatred, but for the sake of Allah, not for your own nafs. Hazrat Ali did not used to hate for his nafs. And once he was in the middle of a battle, when the kafir spat at his face, he was about to slay him, sever his head from his body, but he left it. When they asked, the kafir asked, why did you not kill me? Although I spat in your face. He said, because my own nafs became involved and I do not do anything for my nafs. I am selfless. Whatever I do for deen. I do for deen, I do for Allah Azza wa Jal. This is loving for the sake of Allah, hating for the sake of Allah. So that made that person accept Islam. So Islam spread not by killing the kafir, but by killing the kufr. By killing the kufr, this is how Islam spread. So whoever loves for the sake of Allah, hates for the sake of Allah, and gives for the sake of Allah, وَأَعْطَى لِلَّهِ وَمَنَعَ لِلَّهِ, and whoever withholds for the sake of Allah, فَقَدْ اسْتَكْمَلَ الْإِيمَانِ, then his iman is complete. And we were saying that we are spreading hatred. This is contrary to Islam. Allah didn't do that. The Prophet didn't do that. Allah refers to the munafiqs as shaitan. He says, وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَى شَيَاطِينِهِمْ. He refers to them as fools. He refers to them as zalimun. He refers to the kuffar as kafirun. Yeah? He has written a whole surah in condemnation and exposure to the hypocrites. The Quran says a whole surah has been revealed, Surah Al-Munafiqun. What will these people say? وَسُلَيْقُلْ about these surahs. What will they say about the Prophet ﷺ, where he has also said that whoever sees an evil being done amongst you, then he should stop it with his hands. Those people who are servants of deen, they must do that. They are in a position of authority. And each and every one of you, as a parent or as a teacher, has this role. كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَاعِيَتِهِ. Each and every one of you is like a ruler, and he will be questioned about his ri'ayah upon whom he ruled. So we are supposed to condemn evil when we see it, especially if it is an evil belief. It must be condemned. It deserves condemnation. It does not deserve to be approved. Yeah, because when you're not condemning it, you are endorsing it. You are, by condoning it, you are advocating that belief. And this is not the way of Islam. This is not the way of the Quran. This is not the way of Rasulullah ﷺ, but this is the way of the munafiqs. This is the way of the hypocrites. So the Prophet said, "Man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyirhu biyadihi, fa in lam yastati' fa bilisanihi." If he cannot stop it with his hand, then he should at least condemn it with his tongue. Fa in lam yastati', then فَبِقَلْبِهِ. Then if he cannot do it with his tongue, then he should at least say it is evil from his heart. وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. That is the lowest level of Iman. Finish on a share by Al-Hazrat Adim al-Barkat, where he says, in order to promote this belief, he says, "Unhe jana, unhe mana." After you believed in Rasulullah ﷺ, after you knew him, then you believed in him. Unhe pehle jaan liya, fir maan liya. Unhe jana, unhe mana. आगे इमाम अहले सुन्नत क्या कहते हैं? Because he is our imam, we are his muqtadis, we should believe in him. He is imam of all of the Ahlul Sunnah in aqaid. So उन्हें जाना, उन्हें माना. After जानने के बाद उन्हें मान लिया, फिर वो क्या फरमाते हैं? ना रखा गैर से काम. And all those people who are non-Ahlul Sunnah, वो सब गैर हैं. According to Imam Ahlul Sunnah's understanding. Yes, invite them to accept Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the correct version. But don't go around discussing your deen and mixing with them freely so that you lose your own iman. Then he says, after you have, if you start to live according to this formula, then lillahi alhamd, main dunya se Musliman liya.